where I just feel kind of a little bit lost right now. I'm just not sure kind of like what my next steps are. What is up, guys? I hope you all are well. My name is Sakila, and welcome back to the Wonderfully Made in Christ YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. If you end up enjoying this video, make sure you give it a big ol' thumbs up so that other people can see it and also watch it as well. And if you also end up enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe for more content. And anyway, we're just gonna get straight into the video for today. So it's been a while since I last recorded a YouTube video, so we're just gonna be kind of like up close and personal today. It's not really kind of scripted. I just kind of want to just share my heart with y'all, share what I'm feeling, where I'm coming from, and yeah, just where I am in this season of life. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first things first, I guess I just want to share with y'all just what it is I kind of have been feeling. And I think it's just kind of like therapeutic for me. I know for me personally, sometimes when I just like even watch videos that kind of like relate to a season of life that I'm going through, I know that that's really helpful for me. So I hope that could be maybe helpful for some of y'all who are watching this right now. And so just kind of ways I've been feeling is just I feel like I'm in a season of my life where I just feel kind of a little bit lost right now. I'm just not sure kind of like what my next steps are. And I feel like this is kind of just a part of being in your mid 20s specifically. I feel like just you're in a season of life where you're more grown up now, like you're an adult, you've been out of college for a little bit. But also you're still learning a lot of things. You're still becoming more established. You're still learning a lot. I mean, your brain finally fully develops at about 25, so you're still kind of, even though you are an adult and you know you're out of college now, there's still a lot that you're learning. And so I'm kind of in that season of life right now. So yeah, that's just kind of the season of life that I'm in, and I'm kind of just learning to, or trying to learn to embrace that instead of like fighting it. I'm trying to learn to just like, Lord, this is the season of life I'm in. What do you want me to learn from this? And how should I go about it? Because obviously the Lord knows the best ways to navigate our different seasons. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a crazy time in your life, like postgraduate life of being like postgrad for like a few years now. Because I feel like, and I've talked about this before, but like up into like after college, like your whole life is kind of like planned for you. You know, it's like you do elementary school, you finish that, then you go to middle school, and you go to high school. Then for a lot of us, we go to college, and then those 4 years of our lives are planned out. And then nowadays, a lot of us are going to graduate school right after college. And so then maybe you choose to do that. And so then after that, like after either you've gotten your bachelor's degree or your master's degree, or even just like your high school degree, because there's, you know, some people choose not to go to college and we all have different paths, and that's, you know, that's fine. So whenever you kind of finish that final step, it's like, it's a lot of us, I feel like, have this question of what do we do? Where do we go from here? It's like, okay, you get a job, but now it's like you're navigating all these things. Like, okay, like, is this job even something really that I want? Is this field something that I want to work in? Like, what is my next step? And I feel like that's just been something that I feel like plagues this generation a lot, because I feel like this is maybe one of the first times, I feel like, where sometimes there's not a clear next step. Because back in the day, after people went to college, a lot of people got married shortly after that, then started a family shortly after that. And I know that that happens still today for a lot of people, but for a lot of people, that's not happening. So because of that, it's like, okay, you've graduated, you're working now, and it's just like now you have all this kind of time as like a single adult, and you're like, what do I do with that? You know, like, or sometimes that's a question I like to ask myself. And so, yeah, if you're in that same boat, like, yeah, I just want to encourage you. The Lord sees you, and we don't always have to know the answer to what our next step is. And part of the beauty of the journey of just being a believer and following Christ is trusting God through the unknowns. And that's kind of where I am right now. But yeah, I guess I just want us all to ponder, like, maybe like the reason why so many of us in this kind of generation, are struggling with loneliness so much is because, I mean, we're putting off getting married, and we're putting off like having a family. And a lot of us nowadays, more of the focus is to focus kind of like on yourself and like self-development and like building your empire and building your kingdom and doing the things that you want to do before you start all that. And in some sense, I don't think that's entirely bad, because ultimately the person you are going into like a marriage will affect your spouse, and then ultimately will affect your future children one day, So if there's issues you haven't resolved, that's going to affect like the spouse that you'll be, and it'll affect how you parent, and it'll affect your future kids, So it's important to like work on the things you need to work on before you do move into those more serious stages of life. So there is a beauty, I feel like, in taking time to like focus on yourself in a healthy way, so that you are coming to those different seasons of life from a place of wholeness and a place of healing, and not a place of brokenness, because brokenness just creates more brokenness. If you're broken, that's going to in turn affect others around you, and others around you that you're closest to and that you love. And so yeah, that's one thing I'm learning, that yes, it's like a part of this season is it's lonely, it's lonely, like not having a partner by your side to like walk through life with. And I feel like a lot of us relate to that, and I'm just going to say it and be honest. But also too, I'm thankful for this time to get to know myself more, and to get to know my flaws more, and get to know, and to just to heal from things that I have not healed from, so that I can be the healthiest version of myself whenever I do go into different seasons of life to come in the future. So yeah, so I guess another question that is coming up for me right now is like, what is best? Like, is it best to wait, to wait to get married, to wait to have a family, so that you can put in that work to work on yourself? Or is it best to like get married earlier? And I feel like we see this a lot in like culture, especially if you follow like more kind of like, femininity channels, or people who have more traditional values. I feel like that's a common theme that's like talked about, and something that's pushed is getting married younger, which I think is fine ultimately, if like you are at a place where like you do have kind of like your things together. Maybe not entirely, because ultimately none of us entirely have it all together. No one's perfect. But if you're in a place where, okay, you, especially as a man, like you have like a steady job, and you're going to be able to provide like for your wife and your future kids, and you have a good head on your shoulders, and since this is a Christian channel, if you're someone who's submitted to the Lord, then I think 100%, yeah, it can work out. But that's just, not the case for all of us. And so I feel like the answer is that it depends. It depends. I don't feel like there's a right or a wrong, because I feel like culture now is kind of promoting, like, just do you, focus on yourself, and then worry kind of like about getting married, having a family, if you want to even do that later. Or if you don't want to do that, that's cool too. And then I feel like more traditional culture, especially even like more traditional Christian culture and traditional culture, I feel like as a whole, I would say like the focus is still kind of on, okay, like after you graduate college, the focus, you should focus on, marriage and starting a family and going about that. That's still, at least in my world, I feel like an idea I still see very, very pushed and promoted. Maybe everyone doesn't see that, depending on like where you live, what country you're from, or even what part of the United States you're from. But I mean, I am from the South, and I am a Christian, and I do follow a lot of like traditional culture things. So because of that, that is an idea I see a lot in my world. However, at the end of the day, it all comes down to what the Lord has for you is for you. Because if I would have had it my way, I would have chosen differently for myself. But as I continue to walk with the Lord, I see that the Lord, he's perfect in all his ways. And sometimes I don't fully see that, but just since I have a relationship with the Lord, I have to trust that he knows what he's doing and that he's good, and that because certain things in my life have not happened for me, that it's for a reason and for a purpose, and I have to trust the Lord in the midst of that. I really don't have a choice. I mean, I guess I could choose not to trust him, but that wouldn't be a wise choice because he's the only trustworthy one. I can't trust myself, and I can't fully trust like others around me. The one person I fully can trust is the Lord. So yeah, I hope that helps some of us out there who just feel kind of like lost and confused, or in this stage of life where you're postgraduate, whatever that is. Maybe you've graduated high school and you're going to take a gap year, or you've decided that you don't want to go to college, or you've just graduated college completely and now you're about to start the workforce, or you've been out of college or out of high school for a little bit now and you've just been working, going about your life. I hope this gives us some encouragement about that our lives don't have to look a certain way. Sometimes society and like things and people around us tell us that it has to look a certain way, but it doesn't have to look a certain way ultimately. As long as we are submitted to the Lord ultimately, and we are staying in him, that he'll work it out. He will ultimately 100% work it out. Yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. If you end up enjoying this video, again, pretty please give it a big old thumbs up so that more people could see it and find this channel and discover this channel. And if you like this content, pretty please subscribe for more. There's more I want to do, more I want to share with you guys. So I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I love you guys. Remember that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Bye.